In this video we reveal to you the biggest first date mistake that keeps men single. So this video is for people that are already getting first dates, but they're not getting the results that they want out of their first dates. And also for people that are smart and are not getting now first dates, but you will start getting first dates if you make things properly. And if you're not prepared already, you will burn many opportunities with your first girls. So stick on this video. Also, if you're not getting first dates, because you will do, if you will get it soon if you make things properly. So the biggest first date mistake is lack of physical escalation. Lack of touching the girl. If you're not touching the girl on the first date properly, not casually, now we will talk about it, you will never be seen as a sexual partner. And you don't have to confuse a sexual partner for only one night stand or a fuck buddy relationship. Also, for being in a relationship, in a serious relationship, when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, if you're not having sex first with the girl, you will not be seen as a potential boyfriend. Okay, so if you're burning your chances on the first date, if you're not making physical escalation, you will make the girl lose interest, because she will see that you are scared. Because this is the most common reason why men are not making a physical contact on the first date. The first reason is because they don't even know that they have to touch the girl on the first date, but after you know that you have to touch the girl on the first date, most part of the people, they are scared of making physical escalation on the girl. And also then people that are not scared, they don't know exactly which step-by-step process to follow. So in this video we'll talk about. And you remember that if you're not touching the girl on the first date, you will never see her for the second date. So it's super important. And people complain, oh, why she's ghosting me. I was so interested in her. She told me that it was a very sweet date. It was a very good evening. She was very happy to see me that night. I don't know, these kind of things. And then why she doesn't want to see me again for a second date? Because you were scared of touching her, and when you're showing lack of courage during the first date, she will lose interest. Also, the girls, they lose interest in a first date when you're showing lack of courage and also lack of social intelligence, so lack of understanding the situation. So the principle behind the physical escalation is that you have to choose around 5 or 6 moves from the lightest to the heaviest. The lightest will be the handshake. Many times you're not making the handshake on a first date. When you're meeting the girl, maybe you will kiss her on the cheek, you will make like a small hug. Usually you will not make the handshake. So from the lightest to the heaviest, and the heaviest will be the kiss. And you have to choose other 4 or 5 moves to put in between, and you will not go to the next one until she reacted at least in a neutral way to the previous one. Okay, so for example, after the handshake, when you're sitting on a date, maybe you're starting in front of each other. It's not the ideal situation. You should sit already next to each other. It's not always possible, but now this is not the video. So for example, when you're sitting in front of each other, you will start grabbing her hand for making, for example, a comment on the color of her nails, on a bracelet. Maybe she has a ring, you make a comment on that, but in the while you are touching her hand. Okay, this is just an example of a move that can be immediately after the handshake. Okay, you will do it maybe after 5 to 10 minutes that you're sitting on the date, and then if she's reacting in a neutral way, after 10 minutes you can make the next move. If she's always check the reaction. If she's reacting in a neutral way, you can go on after around 10 minutes. It's not always 10 minutes, you have to check the reaction, but if it's a good time range after 10 minutes, if she's reacting in a neutral way. If she's reacting in a negative way, you have to wait at least around 15 to 20 minutes, and in the while you have to work on the verbal escalation, which is one of the other main principles that you have to keep in mind. If you want to succeed in first dates, you have to keep in your mind physical escalation, verbal escalation, and logistical escalation. Now in this video we're focusing more on the physical escalation, but for example, if she's reacting in a negative way to the physical escalation, work more on the verbal escalation, being able to flirt more with the girl. You spark her interest with words. Ignite the sexual interest of the girl with words, and then it will be easier for her to respond in a positive way to your physical touch. But now this is not the topic, it's not the topic of the video, the verbal escalation. So if she's reacting in a positive way, you can very often also skip some moves. So if, for example, you prepared like 5 moves, maybe she's reacting in a very positive way already to the second move, maybe you can skip the third move and go directly to the fourth move, okay? But have a structure, but don't be don't be too attached to that structure, because you can also do other moves that are outside that structure, okay? It will be just a structure that will help you to understand in which stage of the date you are in that moment, but don't be too stiff with your physical escalation, because if you also want to do something else that is outside of the structure that you prepared, you can do it, okay? So don't be too stiff in the physical escalation. And one bonus tip that I can give you about kissing the girl, finding the courage for kissing the girl. Remember, this is a mindset shift, so you have to listen this part of the video many times. I suggest you also to write this mindset, because it helped me a lot in the past for finding the courage for kissing the girl, is that you will never lose a girl for trying to kiss her. You will only lose her for not trying to kiss her. Okay? She will always respect you for trying to kiss her, because you're showing courage. Of course, you don't have to try to kiss her in a random moment after 2 minutes on the first date. But if you're kissing her, if you're trying to kiss her after you made the proper physical escalation, she will always respect you, okay? Because you're at least showing courage. They will not respect you when you're not trying to kiss them, okay? Of course, in the proper moment and not out of nowhere. So, if you want to start dating new high-quality women you meet in your everyday life in just 90 days, click the link in the description below and schedule a free consultation call where I will create an individual step-by-step plan to reach your goal from your current situation.